All right, so here I am. Good evening, everybody. Tonight, um, I am going to talk tonight about several books, but I'm actually going to read this book, Gary and the Great Inventors. If anybody knows about me, know that I love history. I love social studies. It was not always like that. I did not start enjoying social studies until my second year of teaching. Actually, the middle of my first year teaching, as I had to teach it to young children, it just came alive. It just really, really came alive. And it is my love now. And so we're going to share quite a few books tonight with you that are written by, again, African American authors with African American characters. And so it's Indie Week, and we're so excited to celebrate independent authors or independent publishers. And I thank you again for joining us tonight. Anybody that might not know who I am, my name is Bridget Brown Jackson, and I am the author of Panther in the Sky, and I am the founder of Ubuntu Press. Ubuntu means I am we, or I am because we are. And that's the whole purpose of the books, the curriculum, and the materials that I am disseminating, is to help children of color, especially Black children, to know how vital and how important they are. And so this is Indie Week. We have some great guests on with us this week. So starting tomorrow, we're going to have a guest every night with us. So please join us, join us, join us. Again, I want to share why we're doing this. In case you haven't watched the videos before, we've been coming on every day for the past 13 days. Literacy is very important. The illiteracy rate in 1970 for African Americans, 1870 rather, for African Americans was about 70%. So 70% of the African American population could not read. By 1920, that had flipped, and 70% of them could read. Now, in the year 2020, we don't have 70% of our children that are in most major testing grades that are at that percent of proficiency for either the national reading assessments or our state assessments. So literacy is very, very important. It's something that I continue to promote. I want us to promote it. It's very, very important. So we want you all to join us, and we really want to be a blessing. And so Kingdom Influence and Ubuntu Press is sponsoring the second annual African American Book Festival. And here you go, so you can see what it's all about.
Put your fist up.
Put your fist up.
Put your fist in the air.
Put your fist up.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Put your fist up. What we want, what we need, what we deserve. Freedom. Black power. Black power. Scream it loud.
All right, Black Power, scream it loud. Black books matter, and it's so very important for us to promote Black literature. It's very important for us to disseminate it with others. And so when I come across good reads, I want to share with other people. And so that's what started all of this. And now we're actually giving away books. We have over $500 worth of books on September 19th that we're going to be giving away. Only thing, you can't win it if you don't register. See that scrolling down there, right across there? It's going, it's going. We need you to register. So register right now if you haven't. Got a couple people watching. I'd like to say hi to my friend, Tracy Robinson Jackson. She's actually going to be on Saturday with us. She is an indie author. Phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal. And so we're so very excited. We also want to say hello to Imani Brown. Thank you. This is a great opportunity for us to be able to share with other people. And so right now, we are going to share a book, and then we're going to share several other books with you too as well. If you have not seen them, we want you again to maybe think about considering putting it in your child's library or a child that you know. So our book that we're going to read tonight, and I'm not going to read again the whole entire book, but it's Gary and the Great Inventors. And again, I might. Okay, we're 6 minutes in. I might read it. Let me just talk about this book first. First of all, there is a website and it's called Our Children's Network. If you go on there, you can see some really, really great, diverse books. And this author right here, oh my God, she's just really amazing. And so it's by Akira Marshall and it's illustrated by Andrea Mika. And it is, I love the illustrations, first of all, because they're so animated, but I love the content. So you'll see why, because I love history. Gary and the Great Inventors. Hi, my name is Gary. That's my twin brother Isaac and our friends Tamara and Dante. We go way back. Look at their names on there. Look at those expressions on the pictures. Absolutely beautiful. We live in a great city of Washington, D.C., and there's lots of cool stuff for us to do here. We take pride in our city, and we're always looking for ways to make it better. Every Sunday, we take a trip to Mr. Baker's laundromat. He's a jolly old man who's always smiles and gives us lots of treats. Yeah, what kid wouldn't love Mr. Baker? Honey, we need to go soon if we want to make it on time. That's my mother. She's a brainiac, just like me. Okay, dear, I'm almost done. And that's my father. He's an engineer who makes all kinds of cool gadgets. Black engineers. Gary, my father, puts the clothes in the trunk and his mother says, boys, it's time to go. They hop in the car, wave goodbye to their friends. When they arrive at Mr. Baker's shop, Gary spots a new sign in the window. I wonder what that means, Gary thinks to himself. Why, hello, it's my favorite twins, says Mr. Baker. Hello, says the twins. My, have you two grown since I last saw you, says Mr. Baker. The boys smile at each other and say, we just saw you last week, Mr. Baker. We haven't grown that much. Mr. Baker laughs as the boys enjoy their lollipops. Gary points at the sign in the window and it says, what is organic dry cleaning? Mr. Baker smiles and says, a curious mind, right this way. He signals for the boys to follow him. As they walk into the dark room, Mr. Baker turns the light on. To Gary's surprise, he spots the biggest machine he's ever seen. Cool, says Gary. Mr. Baker smiles and says, this is a dry cleaning machine. It cleans delicate clothing that cannot go into the normal washer or dryer, says Mr. Baker. While Gary and Isaac check out the machine, Mr. Baker pulls out an old wilted piece of paper, passes it to Gary to read. Thomas Jennings, a reputable business owner, is the first African American to receive a United States patent for his dry scouring method. This ruling generates controversy. Oh, wow. An African American invented the dry scouring method for dry cleaning. Gary stops and asks, what is dry scouring and why is it a controversy? Mr. Baker smiles and says, young man, all of the answers are right here before you. Keep reading. Gary smiles and reads on. At this time in America, the U.S. Patent Act of 1793 states that any invention an enslaved person makes belongs to their owner. However, Mr. Jennings, born a free man in 1791, meets the requirements to attain a patent, thus becoming the first African American to receive full rights for his invention, dry scouring. This method revolutionizes the cleaning process of delicate garments. Oh, wow. So the great inventor that Gary has learned about is Thomas Jennings, and he invented the dry scouring for the dry cleaning. Did you know that? That's why Black books matter. And that's why it's so important for us to offer them for children of all ethnicities. Now, I'm not going to read the rest, but it continues talking. And Gary, if you can see the expressions, oh my God, they are so excited to learn. And so we want to make sure that we're continuing to do that. We have a couple comments tonight. We got Tracy saying yay, and I hope she's saying yay because she's going to be on Friday or Saturday rather, reading her book. And so we can't wait to have her on. We have a couple people that are sharing with other people. Thank you, Donita, for sharing it with my Sierra. Again, that's my great nephew. Probably why she's sending it out to us. So we appreciate you looking at it. And again, shouting out to other people to look at them. And so Imani said earlier, this is great. This is great. So this book right here, you can't see the title too well. Okay, there you go. It's Imani Has the Most Exciting Dream. I actually bought this book when Imani was younger, and it's by a local Michigan indie author, Sandra Epps. And Sandra has inspired me over and over and over again for the years. She is so magnificent. So if you haven't read her book, she talks about Imani's, her dream, her mom, and everything, and how it talks a little bit about lupus and a very interesting way to teach the concept of illness to children, but beautiful about her dream and just beautiful illustrations. And Sandra actually curates the Dow Show, the Detroit Dow Show. So check her out if you have not. It's a treat to be able to see. And then we have Shauna. This is an amazing book. So Shauna is by B. Keith. It says B.K. Fulton on here, but he goes also by B.K. Fulton. He's a publisher of many books, and this book is about his sister, and it teaches about the Rett. His sister has Rett syndrome, and it talks about her love for life. Oh my God. It is illustrated by one of the greatest, I'm going to say up and coming because he's not up and coming, but he is phenomenal, Jerry Craft. He is also an awesome illustrator, but Shauna is asked, is she happy? Because she has a disability. And the answer is no. And that's, can she dance? Yes. Are you happy? Yes. Are you? Yes, I'm loved. And I can do my dream and I can do everything. So again, if you don't know this book, great book. I found it back in 2018 when it first came out. And oh my God, it was really great. I bought this book at the African American Children's Museum here in Detroit. And it's called Daddy, I Broke My Snowball. A beautiful story about some children having a good time with their dad. Again, an amazing read. And what I'll do is I'll put in the link all of these books. Sierra is saying that she loves this. Thank you, Sierra. I'm glad. These are some great book titles that, again, you can get. This is one of my new friends, and actually both of these go together, that I found them this year through another mutual friend. This is called Cat in the Hood. Oh my God, amazing book by Dr. Mom. And again, I'll put the link. And so Cat in the Hood kind of was feeling, not feeling everything and trying to kind of fit in. But it's like, no, I don't have to be like that. I can be unique. And then Oliver's Twin by Dr. Mom too as well. And it's a beautiful book about a little girl and what is actually going on. And so again, I'll put those links down there. Thank you. Got some people chiming in tonight. Willie Jackson, he is actually the founder of Kingdom Influence. It's right. Wait a minute. Always got to fix my finger right there. That's our logo. Willie Jackson is the founder of Kingdom Influence and helping put on this second annual Children's Book Festival. Elsa is saying this is so needed for our children. Yes, Elsa, this is so needed for our children. So very, very important. Oh my God, this book right here, if you have daughters, you need to have this book in your library. It's called Believing in Myself. And the author, Eric Pullen, she actually talked about the fact that, I'm going to read it so I don't mess it up. Believing in Myself is based on a dark-skinned African-American girl who refuses to give up on her dreams despite rejections with multiple auditions. This little girl is determined to keep her head up high and succeed, just like Beyonce, Kim Kardashian, and Taylor Swift. And so because of her darker skin, she was kind of always put on the back burner. How sad. And so she is just absolutely amazing, amazing. And so if you don't have this book, have never seen it, especially if you have daughters, and if you have daughters with, again, more deeper complexion, because sometimes they are treated differently, and all children are great and magnificent. A wonderful book to be able to teach that concept. My grandson and I read this book on Clever Communities in Action on their book thing. It is amazing. It's called "Twas the Night Before the Bayou Classic." And it's a whole series of these books that go with mascot books that go with some of the HBCUs. And this one happened to be Grambling. And so if you go to Grambling or know of Grambling, this would be a great, great book to have. So I hear my cousin Delnita, thank you. She said, I want some for Landon. Yes, Landon needs to have these. Now, this one is a girl character, but every boy and girl need to have this in their library. It's called Savannah's Saving Jar. And oh my God, she's 10 years old and she's always saving money. Who would want to have a child like that? And so she's saving the money, and so that she can do some different things, and she becomes very financially literate. And so this book, again, is by Chelsea Addison. A great, great book. It has a lot of text in it, so it's not your typical story picture book, but it's really, really great content. It even has a glossary in the back and has some different terms that they can learn about and everything. Again, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful read. I bought this when I was still at the school because I was teaching some concepts to some of the young scholars. I wanted them to know how to be able to do that. And so that's a great read. Now, I have a boy by the name of Caden Harris. If you've seen our flyers for our promo for the second annual African American Children's Book Festival, then you've seen Caden. Caden is phenomenal. Caden just turned 10 years old, and he has a book out teaching. People. Thank you, Jasmine. He has a book out teaching young children how to make up to $10,000 in less than 10 years old. All right, just great. I don't know where my book about Gabby went, but I'll bring Gabby back. I'll bring Gabby's book out on Saturday when I do more people around the country. Gabby, when Gabby was in, her book is called Gabby Bows is her website. Bows as in a hair bow. Gabby is phenomenal. Oh my God. I was teaching it again when I was still at the school, and I was teaching children about financial principles. Gabby, by the time she was in the 12th grade, was a six-figure earner. Did you hear me? 6th grade, earning 6 figures or more. How many of us adults are not doing that? And so we want to teach these concepts to our children. So yes, we want to teach these concepts to our children. And literature is a great way to be able to do it. And so Caden is going to be on this week reading his book. Then I have 3 other phenomenal youth authors. They're going to be sharing. I'm going to be sharing a little bit of their book, but I want you to come to the book festival so you can really hear them talk. And we have Olivia Lauren, we have Ethan Woodyard, and we have Taylor Wright Williams. And so we have some dynamic children. How many of you have children that want to write? Well, one of the things that Ubuntu Press does every year is we host a contest where we can help children write a book. And guess what you have to pay parents? Zero. zilch, nada. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to again put the banner up here. You can actually go on there and enter. And you actually can go to that website and send me some feedback too. So if you know some young people that are interested in writing a book, I only do, the one per year that I'm doing, but I do want to help some young children if that's their dream and that's their aspiration. We also have some great talent. Get it like Shania. Shania is a 10-year-old. Oh my God. She lives in Virginia, in Chesapeake, Virginia. And when I say she is talented, there's nothing she can't do. She sings, she dances, she acts. I mean, she does spoken word. And I heard she prays too. She is phenomenal. And she's going to be on for the second annual book festival, so you don't want to miss it. We have some great adult authors that wrote children's books, and then we have a guest panel that's going to talk about some amazing things. So we want to see you there. We really want you to help us in promoting this and everything. So we greatly, greatly appreciate it. We appreciate the dialogue and the conversation tonight. We thank you for joining on. And again, there's the registration. Share it with someone. This is free. Tell me who can use $164 worth of books in a time like now. Tell me who can use $128 worth of books. Tell me who can use $138 worth of books. So we have 3 book bundles that we're giving away. In addition, I'm going to each hour be giving away Panther in the Sky, my book. It's a book about the Black Panther Party. It was written to honor my uncle, who was an actual Black Panther. He was assassinated in 1969, and for his the 50th year commemoration of the anniversary of his death, we do a memorial, and I actually launched the book that I wrote 26 years prior. And so we're glad to have that out. It's an awesome book that talks about children honoring legacy. And we talk about the free breakfast program, one of the many programs that the Black Panther Party had that we don't hear about because it's not in our history books. So we thank you so much. I'm sorry, Willie Jackson had something to say. I have a nephew I'm going to get some of these books for. All right. I bet you I know who that nephew is. And so we thank you again for coming on tonight. Please share this video. If you're watching the replay, type in replay, post a comment. Come on, let's encourage our young people. I'll put them in the thread so you can see who they are, so you can look them up. Let's encourage them. Let's call their names out. Go get it, Ethan. Go get it, Olivia. Go get it, Kaden. Go get it, Taylor. We have some. Don't forget Shania. Go get it, Shania. Oh, and I forgot my grandson and one of his new best buddies, Chancellor Rice. My grandson is named Carter Wilson. He's actually called the Historian Kid. He and Chancellor are going to be moderating the program. So join us September 19th from 12 noon to 3 p.m. You don't want to miss it. We're going to have some great things, and it's going to be pumping and live. We have a live DJ and everything. We're ready. Are you? Thank you again for joining. Tune in tomorrow night. We won't be for you long. We normally no more than 30 minutes. Sometimes it's 15 minutes. It's never been more than 30 minutes, just to show you some very important, culturally relevant books. So I would love for you to join us tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to have some Flint authors. I'm housed in Flint, Michigan. Our nonprofit is out of Flint, Michigan. And so we have some Flint authors that are going to be coming on tomorrow, just introducing themselves and showing themselves. So please, please, please come back tomorrow night at 8 o'clock and help us spread the word. Kingdom Influence is trying to put libraries in the homes of children here in Flint, Michigan that do not have home libraries. And we know it's important because right now, because of COVID, the public libraries are even shut down. And so we want them to be able to have tangible books that they can touch, and books that, again, are culturally affirming. So thank you so much. Appreciate it. I have one more person said, wonderful. How you doing? That's my sister-in-law. She's all the way from Muskegon, Michigan. Thank you. That's the great thing about virtual. We get to talk to people all over. We've had people talking on here from Georgia, people from all over the country on here tonight. And so that's going to be the great thing about our virtual book festival. You can be anywhere. Matter of fact, I was looking at some of my statistics on my clicks that people click. I had somebody from the UK on yesterday. I'm like, wow. So share, 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 please. Please, down at the bottom right now, it's scrolling. Go on and register. If you have children or grandchildren, register because you might be the lucky winner. Or I'm going to say blessed because I don't believe in luck. You might be the blessed winner of some wonderful culturally affirming books. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. We appreciate it. Keep us in your thoughts, and we have the opportunity to promote literacy, and we will keep on. Have a good night.